Hi guys, welcome. I decided to film from a different location in my house today, and this is my living room. I just thought that this would be a great opportunity to get some natural light in and be in a more relaxed sort of environment for this topic of conversation. So today's topic of conversation is foundation. I get a lot of questions about what's the perfect foundation for combination skin tone, for oily skin tone, something that will hold through different environments and climatic conditions, things like that. And I get a lot of questions around that, and I thought that maybe I can summarize all my thoughts and opinions around the different foundation I have used over the years into this one video. I don't think I have made any video just focused around a foundation before, so this is my first. So the way I have organized this video and I want to talk about is the what, why, and who. So the what will be the foundation, and why will be why do I love this foundation, and who will be who is it best suited for. So without further ado, let's get into it. So my first foundation is the Nars Sheer Glow Foundation. I have been using this for 6-7 years now, ever since I started doing makeup. This was my very first high-end foundation that I ever used, and I use it till date. Why I really love this foundation is that firstly, Nars is such a great brand, especially for brown skin tones and skin tones that is similar to my skin tone. It has a lot of golds and yellow tones, which I really love and which looks great on brown skin tone. Nars does a great job of making those type of shades and having that variety in their line. I gravitate towards Nars a lot when it comes to foundations. And why I love Nars Sheer Glow very much is because it works for me throughout the seasons. Definitely it is more on the glowy side, so it looks even better in the fall and the winter time when your skin is really wants that shine and the glow and it's super dry. This works really well. The other thing I really love about this foundation is that it is the sort of blendability of this foundation is phenomenal. It really feels like it is your skin and it doesn't look like you have any foundation on. So I really love that, and who doesn't want that, right? I would not necessarily recommend this for people who have very oily skin, because this is a glowy foundation. So if you already have oily skin, this might make your face look very slick and very more dewy than you want it to be. So I would recommend this for combination to dry skin type people. And the next one is also another Nars product. This is the Velvet Matte Skin Tint. Why I love this foundation, and this is actually a skin tint, not really a foundation. You would consider this to be more of like a BB cream, CC cream. It does have broad spectrum and SPF 30 sunscreen, so that's great. This is definitely not as pigmented as the Sheer Glow foundation that I just talked about, but this definitely can be used, can be built up and can be used for a daily foundation. So if you're just going to work, or if you're just even hanging around the house, or if you want that no makeup look, you want to look almost like no makeup but you still want to have a little bit of coverage on your face, this is a perfect foundation for that. You can mix this up with your moisturizer too, so that you don't have to apply them separately. It will still give you the tint and a very light coverage, but it will not look cakey. Since this is a matte, sort of semi-matte finish, I would definitely, if you are on the more combination through oily skin tone, I would definitely recommend this, because I think that will be perfect for your skin. This can be worn all throughout the year. In fact, in the summer to fall time, it will be perfect since it has a little bit of a matte finish. I know I really enjoy this. This gives me such great coverage. Even though it is a skin tint, it has pretty decent pigmentation. And next up, sticking with Nars, because I love the company so much, the next foundation is the All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. My shade is in Syracuse, and my shade is in Syracuse with the other Nars foundations as well. I love this foundation. I think I've used it in a number of different videos because it is my holy grail. I am a full coverage girl. I love it when my face is, you know, just has the best coverage, and because I do have a lot of pigmentation issues. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in my videos I do have a lot of pigmentation around my under eyes. I have hyperpigmentation problems, and I've had them for many years now. I have freckles and all kinds of fun things that you get when you're little and you're outside in the sun too much playing. I was one of those kids, so I got a lot of pigmentation challenges. I have darkness around my mouth area, around my under eyes, all of that. So using a high pigmentation foundation is quite important for me, and this really does the job. Why I like it is because it has very high degree of pigmentation, but when you apply it, you don't need a lot of the product to apply the foundation. It gives you really, really great coverage, very, very good coverage compared to any of the other Nars foundations. It is a full coverage foundation, but it doesn't look cakey, I know. So a lot of the full coverage foundations can at some point in the day start to you know, settle in your fine lines and get cakey. This does not. It looks so seamless and beautiful all throughout the day. Literally 8+ hour wear, and it will look like you've just applied the makeup. So I really, really love that about this foundation. People who can use this foundation are definitely more of my skin tone, more of my people. The people who I suggest this foundation are more of a combination to say normal skin tone, simply because it can look a little dewy in some ways. It's a more of a satin finish foundation, but it can look a little dewy on very oily skin tones. So I would not recommend this for oily, but definitely for combination and to normal to dry skin tone. And another great foundation that I have really been enjoying, and I have not used it that long yet, but the day I used it, I fell in love with it. And I've only used it for a month, and it is the Dior Skin Forever Tint Hot Perfection Perfect Makeup Everlasting Wear. Okay, I read out all the words on this packaging actually. But this has a broad spectrum SPF 35. It is shine control, huge for oily skin people. This is great if you have more of a combination to oily skin. I would really recommend this. It gives me the most natural finish. That's one of the biggest reasons why I like this. It is really great with coverage, but it's not cakey. It is, it can last very, very long. It shouldn't settle in my fine lines. It shouldn't start to look patchy on my skin. It shouldn't hold on to my dry patches. All of those things, and none of these things are an issue with this foundation. My shade is in 40, and you should be able to get this in Sephora. So moving on to the next set of foundations, that's my Makeup Forever stick foundations. I remember talking about this a year ago, around this time of the year, in my favorite products of 2015 video. This has featured in it, and I think this is still one of my favorite products. So I mixed two different shades, that's a 445 and 405. You don't have to mix the two shades, but I do because there are certain areas in my face which I wanted to look brighter than the rest of the face, so I mixed the two foundations. Now, why do I love this foundation? Is because it gives me the most natural looking look. It doesn't take much to apply this on and looks seamless, and my face looks glowy and beautiful. The other thing I love about this foundation is that it's easy to travel with. These are plastic packages, so they're very easy to travel with. They're very lightweight, so they won't take up extra space or weight in your luggage. The only thing I don't love about this foundation is that I cannot use this all through the year. Here's why. Because this is more on the glowy side. This is great for, say, fall and winter time, but when summer comes around, doesn't work for me. My face is more combination and actually can get very oily in the T-zone in the summertime. So I start to look super oily and slicky. So in the summertime, you want to use something that's more matte. This is great for the fall and the winter time, even spring for that matter, because when the weather is still cold, it's still dry, and then your skin is going to need that extra glow, and this works really well with that. So for all my dry skin tone friends out there, this is your jam. Literally, not kidding, you will thank me forever if you get this foundation. So get your hands on it. Another great foundation for combination to dry skin tone friends of mine is the Born This Way foundation. Again, why I love this is because, again, it gives me a really good coverage, a medium coverage, and if I want to build it up, I can build it up really well. It has the extra glow in it, so if my skin is, you know, like looking very dry and dull, this really takes it to the next level and gives me that extra shine and glow. Yeah, there's no complaint with this foundation. My shade is in Honey. Yeah, so for my combination to dry skin tone friends, please try this out. I think you will really love it. Now on to some matte foundations. And the moment I talk about matte foundations, I want my oily skin tone friends to pay some attention to here. Why I love matte foundations is that they work really well in the summertime because they are matte. They control the shine on your face. And I solely stick to matte foundations in the summertime. But you can also use matte foundation in the winter time. You just want to make sure that you really hydrate and moisturize your face prior to foundation application. Also try to use a hydrating primer such as like the Too Faced hangover primer. I have not really used it, but I've heard great things about it. It is very hydrating, so I would use that under like a matte foundation, because matte foundation is supposed to not be glowy and not be so hydrating. So the purpose of matte foundation is that it's supposed to take the shine out of your face if you are somebody who's prone to getting shiny very easily. So the first foundation that I have really loved for ages, and it's absolutely my holy grail, is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. My shade is in Spice Sand. Why I really love this is that it gives you that perfect flawless skin after you put this foundation on. A little goes a long way with this. This is the kind of foundation you wear on a special occasion, say for a girls' night out, or for a wedding, or for a anything that requires you to look absolutely on point, perfect, flawless makeup. This is the foundation you would use. Once this is on, it doesn't come off until you actually use a makeup wipe and take it off. It's almost like a mask. It stays on, it stays put, nothing happens to it, does not budge whatsoever. I really love this foundation. For my oily friends, this is great because matte foundation is what you want to gravitate towards. The next matte foundation that I have been really loving is the Stila Stay All Day foundation. My shade is in Caramel. And I really love this. I've used this foundation in, I think, one other video of mine earlier in the year. This is also a very matte finish foundation, and it is full coverage, which is great. The great thing about it is that it doesn't leave your skin feeling very dry. The issue with a lot of matte foundations is that when you put them on, you actually feel like it's sucking the moisture out of your face. There's nothing wrong with the foundation at this point because it's doing its job. It's not making your skin oily. But at the same time, you do not want it to suck all the moisture. I think this is a good medium between a glowy foundation and a Estee Lauder matte foundation. This will be discontinued, unfortunately. I was in Ulta the other day and they told me that they're discontinuing it and that they have cut the price down by 50%. So it is right now for $24 in Ulta. So if you are looking for a good matte foundation, full coverage foundation, go get your hands on it and go get a couple of them so it lasts for you. And last but definitely not the least is the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. I have that on today. What can I say? It's perfect. it's like it can cover anything. I feel like it can even cover a tattoo. That's how pigmented this foundation is. This is definitely a full coverage foundation. It is very, very, very matte. I totally love it, but for people who have dry skin tone, I would not recommend this for you guys. This is definitely up there when it comes to one of my favorite foundations, especially if I am looking for something that for a girls' night, or for a a full coverage for a wedding makeup or something like that, where I want my face to look absolutely flawless. I would go with this foundation. A little goes a long way. The way I apply this foundation is with a beauty blender. I would not recommend a brush for this, because the thing with this is that it dries very quickly. So as soon as you apply it on your face, you want to make sure you have your beauty blender ready for you to blend it out. Otherwise, it's going to just stay and dry, and then it'll be a mammoth task for you to blend the foundation out. Okay, the only thing I don't like about this foundation is that it's super drying. So if you have not really moisturized your face and used a nice hydrating primer, you will feel it. Like right now, I'm feeling it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, you guys. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. And if you are enjoying my videos, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there. I would really appreciate it. The only motivation that I have to make these videos is you guys. I love to hear from you, and I love it when you leave a comment down below. I see a lot of you guys appreciating me. Thank you so much. If there is any specific ask or any specific question that you have about a certain product, or you want me to give you some options for, like, say, eyebrow product or lip products, anything with makeup, please leave a comment down below. Or please don't forget to send me a message on my Gmail account, or you can also like my page on Facebook and leave a message there as well. And that is all for today. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. I'll see you next time. Bye.